Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's nice to be here tonight. A little bit of Shabbat preparation, a little bit of singing in Torah before we move into our davening over the next 25 hours or so. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's really nice to be here tonight. I know that most months we hope that we can do this outside, gather safely at a distance with members of the community that are braving the winter, but the weather had other thoughts for us this weekend, and we're really grateful to be warm and safe here. We know that that's a privilege that not all in our city, in our country, in our community have that privilege right now, and our thoughts and prayers are with all who are suffering from this weather and from everything right now. As we begin to prepare for Shabbat, I've been thinking a lot about this one midrash in the Talmud that I just find really sweet and maybe a little bit quirky. It's a well-known midrash. It's actually known as the basis for the tradition of singing Shalom Aleichem when we walk into our homes after shul on Friday night. And the midrash goes, this is from Masachet Shabbat in the Talmud. The midrash says that When one walks home from shul on Shabbat, from the synagogue, one is accompanied by two angels, a good angel and an evil angel. And that the angels walk home with you on Shabbat in order to see whether or not you're ready for Shabbat. And the Talmud says that the readiness is marked by the table being set and the candles being lit and your bed being made. The sages really felt that a nicely made bed was a marking of being ready for Shabbat. So the angels would look and see if all of this was ready. And if this was ready, the good angel would say, "May it be so next Shabbat and every Shabbat." And the evil angel would have to say, "Amen." And if things weren't quite ready, then the evil angel would say, "May it be so this Shabbat and every Shabbat." And the good angel would have to say, "Amen." This is a very interesting midrash. And one reason that I'm so compelled by it is because it offers us the reminder that that rest and rejuvenation is actually something that we need to ready ourselves for. We need to pause and we need to be ready. But even if we're not ready, there's always another Shabbat coming. We always have another opportunity. I know that I don't always feel ready when it's time for Shabbat. I don't always feel that I've accomplished everything I meant to this week. And sometimes the onset of Shabbat feels frantic and feels rushed. And it would be easy in that moment to just give in to the moment. But this midrash is reminding me that reflection and taking pause and taking stock and looking around me is actually part of the Shabbat preparation and part of what we're doing here tonight, transitioning from the week and into Shabbat with song and with Torah, is that opportunity for reflection of all that happened this week and all that is to come. So, shall we sing a little bit more? Oh, thank you. Amen. Shall we sing some more?
Sure.
All right.
Hi.
That's an opening that Karbach does at the beginning of the Krakow Nigun, which was the one before Romamu. And I actually, in Simchat Torah, in this space, we often do that Nigun, starting with that part. And then when the nine happens, like you can feel the floor of the sanctuary like move down and come up. So there's something about that particular Nigun that makes me feel like we're not sitting on the floor, but like that even the melodies move through the floor in this space, and certainly miss that sense of anticipation of how the melody and the feet move in this space to create such incredible energy and movement of the soul. There's a beautiful story about Mendel, who lived outside of Berdichev, and he was an innkeeper of a quiet, sweet inn that would always welcome wayfarers, people who were traveling along the way, who were hungry, and he would always offer them a kosher meal, simple and sweet. And he was known in the area for being extremely welcoming, exhibiting the mitzvah of hachnasat orchim, of welcoming guests. And he did this for years upon years. And it's hard. I mean, people who own B&Bs or inns, the work of the day-to-day that really doesn't end, because your home is essentially the space that others are occupying, and you're there to feed them and make them feel at home, whether Shabbat, setting up the bed, or all the ways that people who would come by and come for a stay, he was extremely attentive to. And as the years passed and his hair started to gray, he realized he was so busy taking care of the inn that he wanted the opportunity to just slow down a little bit. And he said, I never had the opportunity to dedicate my life fully to prayer and Torah. And so he decided that he would hand over the keys of his inn to his son Shaya, so that he could take over the inn and Mendel could make his way to a life of study and prayer fully. And so one day he invited his son Shaya, and he said, here, Shaya, here are the keys to the inn. You're now old enough, I'm getting old, and I really want to devote this part of my life to dedicate myself fully to God. Take care of this inn, use your strengths and blessings to make this inn what it needs to be. So Mendel moves from being outside of Berdichev to the town of Berdichev, and he has his home there, and he spends his time between the home and the shul. He gets up in the morning, he puts on a big talit, he lingers in his tefillah, he makes his way to the synagogue, the shul, where there is a Beit Midrash, and he studies. And he's not a incredibly learned man, but he is enjoying the ability to devote his life in this way. And in the meantime, his son Shaya is building up this inn in ways that have attracted nobles and people. It's known for elaborate celebrations and incredible food, and so it becomes this place of magnetization where people want to be at this place. And in turn, his son is collecting a lot of money, which happens to be part of the son's drive to be a real businessman. And all of a sudden, the people who used to come and stop by the inn for its quiet warmth, its kosher food, its sense of welcome and warmth, don't feel like they have a home anymore at this inn. And there's a certain amount of sadness about it. And Rabbi Yitzchak of Berdichev, the Kedushat Levi, hears of this story, and he approaches Mendel, and he says, what happened? You know, why did you give up the keys to the inn to your son? And he said, well, when I finish my life and I'm nearing, I don't have many, many years left, I want to be able to go to the heavenly gates, basically, and say, I committed myself to God and to study and to learning. And and not labor all the time from morning till night at the inn, and which is why I felt it was time to give my son Shaya the opportunity. And Rabbi Levi Yitzchak looks at him, and with his sadness, he says, one has to really think about one's makom, one's place in the world. And when you get to the heavenly gates, God is not going to say, you were a chacham, that this was your place. It's beautiful that you can get up and linger in Torah and in Tefillah, in prayer and study. But that inn was a holy place where people would go and find a sense of warmth and a sense of presence and a sense of achnasat orchim. And you don't have to be the highest of the guards of the palace, essentially, to be the one who lingers and studies in the Beit Midrash. The goal of your place on earth is not to be here, but it is to be there, where you labored and loved to create this space. And he said, the son is your son, while he's doing a great business, that business is not God's business. And so Mendel thinks about this, and he returns to the inn, which is no longer what he left. And he says to his son, I'm going to take back my place. And he says, because Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev says that one always has to find one's makom, one's place in life. And one has to live in one's station and not desire to be in someone else's station. And I thought that if I went to study in the Beit Midrash and I prayed every morning, lingering that would make me someone that God would be proud of. But my makom, my place, is actually here, in this very place that has created a makom, a holy space, a place of God to where wayfarers can come by. And from this beautiful story about the questions of where we belong, and as we are in this week of Parshat Truma, which is about Vasuli Mikdash v'shachanti b'tocha, make for me a sanctuary so I shall dwell amongst you. Obviously, the notion of sanctuary was for the Mishkan in the wilderness, and then the Beit HaMikdash, the holy temple in Yerushalayim. But the notion of making a sacred place, a holy place, a makom kadosh, a holy space where God can dwell, is something that is about where our purpose and station is in life. And we can't all be the nobles. We can't all be the tzaddik of the town, or what Mendel imagined, which was to be the one who's studying in the Beit Midrash, which Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev called guarders of the palace, as if the role of the general of God's army is to be the Talmid Chacham, the grand student. Everyone is given a place, and everyone is given a role to play in the world. And part of our job that Mendel had figured out, even though he didn't know he had figured it out until he left and then came home again, was to say, what is our role as part of this universe? Where are we setting up a mikdash, a holy place, a makom, which is our place, which is also another name for God, which is how the book of Esther is, which doesn't mention God at all, but it says the word makom, and the rabbis read that that's God's presence in the book of Esther. Makom, place. Each and every one of us has a place to find where we are meant to fulfill our station, our place in life. And sometimes we need to leave where we are in order to find it again. And sometimes we're blessed enough to know it deeply, and sometimes we're continually on a search. But as the famous story goes, at the pearly gates, wherever they may be, God doesn't ask Zushia, why weren't you Moshe? God asks Zushia, why weren't you Zushia? So I pray on this Shabbat of Parshat Truma, where we talk about building a sanctuary, which is also a Mikdash Ma'at, our own small sanctuary, that we think about where are we building in our life to find that sense of God's presence, the rightness of our place in the world, which is very hard right now, since we're stuck in a lot of physical spaces. But in many ways, the deeper question of this story and of so many stories in our tradition is, where do we truly belong to live out who God needs us to be in this earth? So I hope and pray everyone will find their place, just at least for this Shabbat, and then make our way into the week to do that searching over and over again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So nice to be together. We'll take a nice deep breath. I need that today after sometimes Fridays just feel like they slip by very quickly. And so the moment of grounding myself, being able to step into prayer together, it always feels like a nice deep breath, and it always feels incredibly holy. So before we start our journey of Kabbalat Shabbat together, I want to invite everyone just to take a nice deep breath and become present.